Janae Marie Gresham was born on May 3rd of 1993. She was a mother to a young son. Janae went by the stage name of Loyalty in the city of Columbus, Ohio, where she was a dancer. On April 10, 2016, Janae Gresham's life will come to a violent, tragic end.
And she parted my hair and it hurts. Somebody come get her.
She'll be back in a week.
On April 10, 2016, police were called to Postwoods Drive near Civic Park early Sunday morning around 5:20, where they found Van Darling and Janae Gresham unalived. After a night of partying, Janae Gresham, Van Darling, Inouch Kermew and Mario Hamilton had left an after-hours club and were traveling in a Mitsubishi Outlander. Without warning, Mario Hamilton, who was in the back seat, pulled a firearm and fired a point-blank, shooting Janae in the head, who was seated beside him, as the SUV neared Wind River and Black Oak Drives.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Why?
I see the bunny.
You want to see the Easter bunny?
No.
It's almost Easter.
Van Darling, the driver, stopped the vehicle at an apartment complex in the 500 block of Postwoods Drive and began arguing with Mario, who shot him below the left ear. Van ran through the complex, pursued by Mario, who eventually caught up with him and shot him in the back of the head. Mario said he was so high on alcohol, Xanax and Percocet that he has no memory of fatally shooting one of his closest friends, Van Darling, 25, and a woman he barely knew, Janae Gresham, 23, and Enoch Kermew, 27, on April 10, 2016.
Sunday, early morning shenanigans. Made it to the workplace, but a little too early. Follow. Everybody follow me.
The jury had heard from 15 witnesses over parts of 3 days before Mario decided to plead guilty. Standing between his defense attorneys, he delivered a 6-minute statement, some of which he read from a handwritten note directed at the victim's family and friends. The horrible, sick, twisted truth behind this crime is a person me who was unable to handle a combination of alcohol and a variety of prescription pills, which evidently caused me to make the unconscious decision that led to the death of 2 innocent people, he said. Although the following words are the last words any of you want to hear, I feel it is my responsibility as a human being and my duty as a child of God to tell you all I am truly sorry. If I were one of you, I would want the worst for me, Hamilton told the families. For all your health's sake, please try to forgive me as I try to forgive myself.
So the weirdest thing happened today, or tonight per se. Had 3 of my followers come to Rachel's to come and see me. Thank you guys, you know who you are. I appreciate it.
May Janae Gresham and Van Darling continue to rest in peace and Janae's son and family continue to heal from this tragedy. Janae, a 23-year-old young lady trying to pave the way for her son, sadly snatched from this world in the most unimaginable way by a man who barely knew her. Mario was sentenced in 2017 to 30 years till life. His parole eligibility date is March 31, 2054. It is possible he will one day be released.
Let's be clear. First of all, my hair is fucked up, so excuse it. But how do niggas cheat on females 24/7 and lie to them? And the first time a female do any type of dirt, they the bad guy. Explain.
6 shootings left 3 people dead and multiple others injured. Those shootings began late last night and continued into the early morning hours. One of those shootings happened inside the Queen of Hearts pub on East Livingston Avenue earlier this morning.
Shamira, as she was affectionately called, a much-loved mother. She was this bouncy baby girl born on July 9, 1992, in Painesville, Ohio. She was proud to announce and brag that she was the first and oldest of all her siblings. To know her was to love her. Shamira was an artist by trade and danced to the beat of her own drum. She was a professional dancer and enjoyed the artistry of her work. She was always on the go and loved to travel extensively. Shamira was an entrepreneur. She sold wigs, makeup, eyelashes, clothes, shoes, and ideas. She was a jack of all trades and enjoyed living in the fast lane, going at a fast pace. She had many skills. She exuded many talents and displayed one of her greatness in her flair and her love as a hairstylist. She exhibited her great skill in doing hair as seen on her social media apps and in many of her pictures. She styled hair for family members, friends, and other professional artists. Shamira was a generous person. She was a great makeup artist and an eyelash stylist. If you want to get your hair, makeup, and eyelashes done with love and affection, call the pro. Shamira. She loved to decorate, always seeking new ideas for design. In addition to decorating, she loved to cook. She often displayed her cooking skills on her media sites. She said she was the granddaughter of them all. She could do no wrong when it came to her maternal grandfather. As she would say, she was his favorite. They had a special bond. On the Sunday before the 25th, she enjoyed a sit-down seafood boil meal with her mother, her sister Bibi Kha'terra, and her brother Sean.
One of the sister's friends tells me the family is hurting right now. About 1 week after they buried Shamira Rhodes, they're planning for her younger sister's funeral. Minister Tiara Walton, a close friend of the sisters, said Janae Gresham had 10 surgeries within the past 3 weeks, and her heart, kidney, and liver shut down. She tells me the sisters loved each other and were always together. Tiara says it does not make sense that they're burying Catara, who they called Bibi.
It would have been hard for Bibi to have carried on in that space. So I'm not at peace because Bibi was 17 years old. And the entire situation as a whole doesn't leave you in a place of peace. But I have peace knowing that they passed in a space where they are together.
Tiara asked that people send love to the family right now. She also says they will always fight for justice for the sisters. That's as court records show this woman, 28-year-old Amara Battle, faces 2 murder charges. She's also charged with felonious assault.
During the investigation, detectives learned that a fight broke out during a gathering at the bar. Someone pulled out a handgun and fired shots, hitting all 3 victims. Police released photos of 2 people they are attempting to identify related to the shooting. The photo of a 3rd person wanted for questioning was released on October 3rd. Jana Marie Gram, 28, was charged with in the death of Shamira Rhodes. The arrest came less than 24 hours before friends and family were to gather in Northeast Ohio to bury the mother of 3. Police said Battle and Rhodes were not strangers. They were acquaintances. Columbus Police Homicide Detective Robert Shepard said. They knew each other, but they weren't close friends. 17-year-old Catara Bibi Griffin died less than a month after her sister. Kha'terra Griffin, Catara, affectionately called Bibi, a much-loved precocious baby girl, was born on April 26, 2005. She was the youngest of the children. The baby girl, she had a quiet demeanor, extremely reserved, and determined to have her way. Catara was very close to her sister Shamira. She loved, idolized, and enjoyed spending time with her. Without permission, she would sneak and take bus trips to follow her wherever she was. She just wanted to be with and around her sister. She was attending Mason-run high school. She too loved the beauty industry. Hair, nails, and makeup were a shopping passion for her. She had an expensive taste and flair for high-end quality clothes. She was proud of her desires to seek and maintain employment at such an early age. She had a strong independent work ethic. With each new job she was so excited she would come home and do a dance in the driveway. Catara, like her sister, danced to the beat of her own drum. She was bullheaded, stubborn, and independent. She did what she felt was necessary to do, right or wrong. She enjoyed her social media thing, ordering her Uber Eats, watching movies, and listening to music. Shamira and Catara mother, Nicole Rhodes, wrote this column about the impact her daughter's deaths and suffering have had. She is a member of Mothers of Murdered Columbus Children.
My life changed forever on September 25th, 2022. That morning I woke up to a phone call saying my youngest daughter, Kha'terra, was shot. Her two friends were at my back door. They explained that Bibi had been shot and said they believe she was taken to Grant Hospital. I ran back to my room to throw on some clothes. I immediately started to FaceTime my other daughter, Shamira, to find out where she was. I didn't get an answer after trying to reach her a few times. As I was leaving, I wondered why Bibi's friends were still at the back door. They said we were trying to tell you Shamira was shot as well. At that moment, I was in total shock. How could this have happened and why? I rushed to Grant Hospital to check on Bibi, and I sent my friend to the location where I was told this happened to see what was going on. I was a wreck. After being taken to a room with a doctor, detectives, a chaplain, and a social worker, I was told my youngest daughter Catara was critical and needed multiple surgeries. It was just heartbreaking. Then the detective asked me if I could identify or describe my oldest daughter, Shamira. I gave them a description and he looked at me and said, "I'm sorry to inform you, but she passed." At that moment, I was numb. I've never in my life felt so broken, helpless and weak. The only thing that went through my mind was why, and how could someone do this? I had to explain to Shamira's kids outside of Grant that their mother was taken from us. I saw the hurt and pain in their faces as we cried and hugged each other. At that moment, I just stayed at the hospital praying Catara would pull through. I started making funeral arrangements for Shamira, all while her sister went through surgery after surgery. I can say that I had a good support system to help me along the way. We laid Shamira to rest on October 8, 2022, at the age of 30. And then back to the hospital, where Catara would have a few more surgeries. Things were starting to look better for her. They began taking her off certain medications and removed her from the dialysis machine. There were even talks of moving her to another floor from ICU. I could see a change for the better. She even was able to FaceTime her to best friends. They laughed and smiled. She waved at them. It was so beautiful. I left the hospital that night feeling so good while her dad stayed there. Leaving around 5 a.m. The hospital called us after 6 a.m. that morning saying we needed to get there. When I arrived, Catara was lying flat. The whole time she was there, she was elevated. I knew something was wrong. A couple of days later, we were informed there was nothing else they could do. My daughter's organs were shutting down. On October 15, 2022, her father's birthday, we made the decision to take Catara off life support. Our daughter had already suffered enough. Catara was laid to rest on October 28, 2022. She was just 17. Losing two girls to gun violence had a major impact on our family. One daughter left behind children. The other didn't even get a chance to live her life. Sometimes I feel like the world is moving and I'm standing still. I cry every day. I'm so hurt. I can honestly say reaching out to mothers of murdered Columbus children has been a great experience for me. I'm able to be around other mothers who share my pain. From this group, I found myself giving back to the community and a therapist for me and my family, which is very helpful. I'm able to turn this pain into purpose. Without MOMCC, I would be lost. I'm able to share my story in hopes that it can help someone else. I'm planning to do a toy drive in my girls' honor to keep their legacy alive. If I could say one thing to the youth, it would be to think before you react.